Hi guys, it's Amber from Amber Eats Books, and I'm here today to do a June book haul video. I normally have not been buying enough books to do a full book haul video. I've done only one so far in 2017. But in June, I kind of went a little crazy, and I think that I may possibly go a little crazy in July as well because I have my annual library book sale coming up, which I tend to just buy a ton of books at that sale every year. But I figure if I go a little crazy in June and July and keep it at a barely buying any books for the rest of the year, it'll kind of even out and it'll be okay. So the first set of books I actually bought on Amazon. So the first one would be Meg by Steve Alten. This is for our hashtag on the BookTube Shelves July pick. And then I pre-ordered and have yet to read this book since it came out last month, Gwendy's Button Box. This is written by Stephen King and Richard Chismar. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but this is a short Castle Rock novella, and I'm really excited to read it. I pre-order pretty much all of Stephen King's books, whether it's just by him or with him and someone else. So I saw this was coming up and I had to have it. Then I joined a Goodreads group here, and it's for buddy reading, and there was 2 books this month that they wanted to buddy read, and I normally would try to get them from my local library. However, my local library has shut down their holds or requesting feature right now, so I had to go out and buy them if I wanted to join in, and I really did, so I decided just do it. So I got Lost Girls by Mary DeStefano, and I also picked up The Trophy Child by Paula Daly. So those were my Amazon purchases. Then I found a couple of books at the library the last time we went, and these are books that I will probably get rid of eventually, but it was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone they were getting rid of, and Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I don't own any Harry Potter books. I did at one point, but we ended up getting rid of them because they were all mismatched in the covers, and some were hardcover, some were soft cover, so we got rid of them. But I've been really wanting to reread them lately, and I just don't want to spend the money to get the box set that I want. I'm hoping to get it maybe for Christmas or my birthday or something, so I figured these were free, why not pick them up and I can give them a reread at my leisure. Plus the kids could destroy them and I probably wouldn't really care. The next 2 books I actually found at Goodwill. I haven't really been frequenting Goodwill, but I went in there one day to pick up something, and of course I can't go in without looking at the books, but I was really picky and I didn't buy some of the books that I wanted to buy. I only bought 2 books. So I did well going in there, not spending a ton. One book I got was The Martian by Andy Weir. I've already read this and I loved it, and I wanted my own copy of it. And then the next book is One Good Turn by Kate Atkinson. I have another book by her, I believe it's Life After Life, and people just rave about her books, so I figured it was only $1, why not pick it up and give it a try. The next stack of books, and there's 9 books, I bought on Book Outlet. This was my first Book Outlet purchase ever. I'd been dying to purchase books from Book Outlet, and I'd kind of been looking at them, and I was hemming and hawing, and I was like, I really shouldn't be spending the money. But then Lala from Books and Lala had a coupon code because she became a blogger friend with them, and it was for like 20 or 25% off or something like that. So I was ecstatic, and I just went a little crazy because I wanted to buy enough so I would get free shipping, and I did. So I ended up getting 9 books. So the first book I got, I was kind of a little disappointed when it came because it did not tell me that it was a mass market paperback size book. Normally it says pocket books or something like that, and this one did not. And that is The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. I loved this book and I really wanted to own it, so I was so excited to see it there, but when it came I was like, ugh. So eventually I may replace it, but I'm going to keep this one for now because I do want to reread this story. Then another book I had been looking at for a long time but never purchased was on there, and I decided to pick it up, and this is Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. This is book 1 of the Southern Reach trilogy. I've heard really great things about this trilogy, so I can't wait to read it. The next book has been all over BookTube, and when I saw it, I was like, all right, that's going in my cart, and that is Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire. This is about kids that have traveled to magical lands and now are trying to deal with the ramifications of that. So I have heard so many good things about it and I wanted to read it, so now I can read it for myself. Then I also picked up a couple of Stephen King books. One I thought I owned, but then when I looked at my shelf to see if I owned it, I was like, wow, how do I not own it? Maybe I had it at some point and got rid of it. I don't know, but it's Christine, which is about a killer car. So I have read the story. I know I've read the story. I just must have lost it or given it away or something. I don't know, but I was so happy to find it in this large paperback edition. Then I found another Stephen King book, which is actually going to replace one of the mass market paperback size books. So this was the one I owned, which is Dance Macabre, and this is ugly. So ugly and tiny, and I hate this cover. So when I saw that they had a large paperback instead, I was so thrilled to be able to pick it up, and I love this cover so much more. I have not read this. This is one of the few Stephen King books I actually have not read, so I'm hoping to get back in the swing of reading Stephen King and get to it at some point within the next year. Then I saw they had the paperback version of Queen of the Tearling, which is book 1 in her trilogy and by Erica Johansson. I loved this book. I loved the second book. I read both of them. I've yet to read the third. I have it on hold with my library. When their hold things stop, I'll be able to get that in. So hopefully it'll come in next month, I believe is when the hold go back to normal. So I was really excited to get this. This is a kind of like it is a fantasy book, but it's also sort of not what you're expecting. So I was excited to see it, and I'm glad that I have my own copy. So now I have to collect them all in paperback. Then the next book I've heard a lot about here on BookTube as well, and that is Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. People rave about this book, saying it's their favorite book of all time or the favorite book of the year or whatever the case may be. So I am so excited to pick it up. I believe it has to do, maybe I don't know what it's about because I've been going into books so blind that I don't read the synopsis, and sometimes that's good, but for BookTube means that's kind of bad because I can't really tell you guys what the books are about, just that I've seen them everywhere and I want to read them. So forgive me. And then I picked up The Orenda by Joseph Boyden, and I've heard a lot of good things about this as well, and I believe this is a Canadian author. And I wanted to try reading some more books written by Canadian authors, actually, because I don't feel like I read enough of those. And then the last book that I finally picked up in this huge haul here was a thriller that I've been dying to read since it came out, and that is Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. This is a dent and scratch, so there is a little bit of a tear in the dust jacket, but it's nothing that I can't live with, and I'm really excited to be able to read this. I'm in the mood for thrillers recently, so hopefully this will make it onto one of my TBRs for the summer. Anyway, those are all the books that I bought. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me, what books have you bought recently? What books are you most excited to read? I hope you guys have a great week and happy reading.